So principle number one is that promises are more powerful than goals. Now, we've all been taught about goal setting, right? How important it is to set goals. I'm going to make a very blunt and direct statement to you right now. And it pains me to say this because I've written books about goal setting. Goals do not work. If you've written out goals, take them and rip them up and throw them away. Now, as an attorney, I make statements based on facts and evidence. I like to think in terms of what do the numbers really show. When I was an attorney, I had to present evidence of things all the time, right? Not just what I was feeling. Here's the true numbers. Less than 15% of people who set goals ever accomplish them. Okay? Less than 15%. However, more than 90% of people who make promises will fulfill them. Wow. Why do you think that's true? Why do you think when someone's going to make a promise, they'll carry it out? But when they set a goal, it's more like a New Year's resolution. What's the difference? Someone else can be dependent on the promise that you've made, right? Okay.
Fear of failure.
Fear of failure? Could be. It's part of it. Why else would we make a promise?
Reputation.
Aha! Our integrity is on the line when we make a promise. Because we've been taught since we were this tall, never make a promise you don't intend to keep. A promise is a promise. Now, those of you who have children, have you ever promised them anything? What happens after you promise them? They remind you over and over. And my daughter Danielle, who will be 24 pretty soon, still reminds me that I didn't get her a dog. Because at one point I promised her she could have a dog. I didn't carry through that promise. She still reminds me. You could be 90 and your children could be 60 and they'll still remind you of the promise that you made and you broke. So our integrity is on the line when we make promises, right? That's why they're so powerful. It makes us be realistic, it makes us be genuine, and it makes us be honest about what our true commitments are. Goals are like New Year's resolutions. We set them, and then 3 months later, if we're not on track, what happens for most of us? Whatever, I'll make up for that in the second half of the year, right? And then the second half of the year comes, and we realize we're just not going to hit the goal. Well, you know something? January 1's right around the corner. January 1, 2011, that's going to be my year. And then we tend to get into the same pattern again, right? Listen, if that's happened for you, and it happens to all of us, it's happened for me, it's because we're making goals that are not important to us, and we're not making promises. Now, for those of you who will stay later for the Q&A, I'm going to write out a promise on that board, and I'm going to show you the formula on how to set a promise. For those of you who are already writing out goals, when you go back to your offices later or wherever you're going to go, take out that piece of paper, and where it says my goal is, cross it off and write, I promise to. And you're going to feel something in your gut. What are you going to feel? Fear. You're going to feel fear. Because now you're promising to do this. The entire business plan at our company is a series of promises. Every client that we work with sets promises.